Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Good morning, everyone. Good health and good morning. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Mystical Misfits. Good morning, everyone. Ugh. I feel like I got beat up last night. Ugh. Do I look like it? I feel like it. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Irie. Hi, Joe Jackson. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mystical Misfits. Good morning to you. Hi, Ebony. Good morning, Dory and Mystical Misfits. Thank you. Good morning and good health, am I? Anna Rivera. Good morning, Tracy and everyone. Good morning, Auntie Tracy and the Mystical Misfits. Good health. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you. Good morning, Jewel. I love the stars. Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning, everyone. Hi, John Tell. Good health, everyone, he says. Yay. How's everyone doing today? Good morning, TLT, and good health. Good health. Hold on. Good morning. Hi, Miss Net. Good morning. Hi, Sophia. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Erica Hamlet. Hey, all. Wishes of a beautiful, productive day. Thank you, Erica. Good morning. Good morning. But remember, if you want to be lazy, choose lazy. Choose lazy too. That's just as productive as anything else. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get my body to calm down because I went to the store this morning to get coffee. I've been going to the store since Sunday. Since Sunday, I've been going to the store to get coffee, and you know, I live up a hill, so to walking down is not a problem, but walking up is a problem. But I have to tell you, I've been doing it for a few days now, and today was the best day. I walked up the hill and I was like, don't take a break. Don't take, because I usually take like 10 breaks, right? I was like, don't take a break. Don't take a break. So I did stop once by accident. I didn't mean to stop. And then I stopped twice on purpose. So I'm doing better. I'm doing better. But my goal is to get up the hill without stopping. It's just hard when the sun is out. I could do it better with no sun, but with the sun, Why do you need me to put you in your prayers? I'm going to tell you something that you guys always do wrong. Let me teach you something. It's going to be really important to hear me. Be careful who you ask to do prayers for you. Now, of course, if you're asking me, it's different. But I want to teach you something. Be careful who you ask for prayers. God hears you. God wants to hear from you. So, it's very important to be consistent with your voice to Creator. Very consistent. You can ask other people for prayers, but just so you know, when you do that, they add their own prayers. And if you have someone that's smiling in your face but wants to see you do bad, those are the prayers that are going to go up. So sometimes you keep it quiet and you just pray. I'm going to teach you that. I think people need to know that, because in the Black community, we're so big to, ask for prayers. But much like the nurse that wound up running through a red light and killing all those people, sometimes the Black community doesn't know how to take care of each other. Do you understand? And so you could be asking prayers from evil people, smiling in your face. I teach you. That brings me to another point. You know the nurse, priceless advice. Oh, do you feel that? Yes. Thank you. If you notice, it's rare that I ask for prayers. It's rare. The one time I did was for my son and his wife. And even then, I stated what the prayer was required. And even then, I knew if I asked for public prayers, I was going to get a mountain of positive prayers, even if there were people that didn't pray healthy for me. I knew I was going to get a mountain of healthy prayers because I said what I needed the prayer for. Again, a lot of people do this on Facebook. They're like, pray for me. Like, they just put up a sign, pray for me. And it's like, I could pray for you, but I don't know what I'm praying for, but I could pray, but I don't know what it is, right? And a pastor once said, you don't need to know what it is, but actually, I believe you do. You can say, you don't have to say the problem. You could say, pray for my mental health because I'm going through something. See the difference? You don't have to tell people your business, but you have to go, I'm losing it. Pray that I keep it together. Boom, got you. But if you say, just pray for me, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're asking for. That makes me work way too hard. And you that need the prayer shouldn't make me work that hard. You should be like, this is the situation. Boom, got you. I'm on it. I'm just helping out, Jewel. Good morning and good health, the Kiki Witch. So remember that. I think this Friday we're going to do how to communicate with God, right? And this starts it off really well, right? Because you don't want everybody talking to God for you. Some people communicate with the devil. Truth. And call the devil God. You don't know the difference. You know how I know some people talk to the devil and replace it with God because that's a way of trickery? It's because sometimes you have to pretend like you're praying to a saint or this, that, and the third, when behind the saint could be something bad. You don't know. You don't know. The best thing you could do is have a personal relationship with God. Seriously, you pray to God every day. You got a problem, you pray to God. Period. Point blank. I hope I'm making sense. Jewel, you're taking it personally, and I can tell. You are not bothering me. You are learning something. Sit back and learn something. Do not take it personally. You did not offend me. See, you're being snarky. You did not offend me. You are learning something. Learn it. I'm the master. I'm teaching you. Don't come back at me. Learn the lesson. You learn the lesson, you will be at your highest conscious authority to communicate with God. Learn from the master. Don't be snarky. You can't offend me. I'm not the one asking for prayers. I know I'm hard on you guys. I get it. Don't care. Don't care. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta listen to be at your brightest star. So when that problems go down, your bright star is seen from heaven. And that's through discipline, and that's between you and your relationship with Creator Source. And then another point, and then do your prayers when nothing is happening. Woo. You imagine saying your prayers and going, God, good morning. Hallelujah. Nothing's going on. I'm just going to ask for protection. But I'm happy. Imagine saying your prayers and telling God, I'm happy. Has anybody ever done that? Of course you need that honest truth. I know exactly what I'm doing. Might I offend? Yeah. I don't know if I care anymore. I'm at an age that we will never talk about, right? When I was 40, I might have been sensitive on hurting other people's feelings. At this age, nope, don't care. Because I know that what I'm saying is not hurtful. I choose my words very carefully. I know what I'm doing. I work with God. And God's not going to let me hurt you all. He won't let me do this job. He will take the gift away. I promise you. So I'm not hurting just to hurt. I am emphatically speaking to get through to you. And Jewel, I'm not getting just through to you. There's 64 people in the feed. Maybe I'm getting through to someone else. So don't take it personally. Don't ever take anything I say personally, unless I call you out your face. And it's rare that I actually call people out their face in a feed. I might call people out their face as a celebrity. I might do that. But in a feed, it's rare. Yes. Yes. You know, there's so many ways you could. I mean, Jewel, you brought something up, so let's discuss it. There are so many ways to pray. You can just sit quietly. Rather than jumping out of bed, right? You can just sit quietly. Bow your head, because that seems to help, because this is where God feeds. This is where prayer comes through. Bow your head. And sometimes just sit with yourself and think. Sometimes a good prayer doesn't even come to you unless you sit in yourself. And if you can't think of a prayer, always have a standard prayer ready. If you can't think, always have a standard Psalm prayer ready in your phone. Psalm 91 is protection. God said, when you want me, say the Lord's Prayer. Do you understand? For joyous, Psalm 100 and Psalm 150 is like good morning prayers, like I'm glad I'm here, I'm glad I woke up, Psalms. Yeah, yeah. You can sit quietly with mantra music. Just put it right on your phone. Frequency music. We talked about that the other day. Mm-hmm. And I love that Kiki Witch says this all the time. She always calls God Mother, Father, God. Yes. And take a moment to sit with God before you get in that car. Are you get in your car every day and act like you safe, but you don't sit with God for a minute? Child, you safe because God makes sure you safe. So you make sure you say to God, all right, God, I'm getting in my car. I don't know what's going on out there. Keep me protected. Let me tell you something. This is my car, right? And Ezra can testify. Let Ezra get in the car, and then I would start. And I'd walk around, and I'd touch the car, right? Because your touch is everything. And then I would end it facing Ezra. That wasn't the key. Ezra wasn't the key. I'd always been doing this before Ezra was born, right? I get to the front, and then I pray like this, right? Not like this. When you pray like this, you're being selfish. You're only worried about yourself. When you pray like this, because most times when you're praying for something outside of you, right? So when you pray like this, you're giving to yourself and you're giving the energy out to what you want to be prayed over. So I would do like this. You know, Ezra watched me for years. Fascinated, because I remember seeing some looks on his face like she's doing it, right? One day we got in the car and Ezra goes, "You didn't pray, Dory." And I turned around and I was like, I was so late for something. And I was like, you're right. Better to be late and pray than to have said to Ezra, forget about that, we late. That's what Ezra would remember for the rest of his life. My job was to get out and be consistent because I knew that was something he was going to carry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. When you bend over, every church does it. God comes in through this. God, there's a portal right there that prayers come through, right there. Mm-hmm. And if you want, take some oil. It could be frankincense. It could be myrrh. Anoint the back of your head before you go to bed at night. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mustard seed oil. Start getting some frankincense and myrrh oil. Seriously. Those are the oils from before Jesus was born. And those were the oils that were given as a gift when Jesus was born. Everybody felt that? So, Jewel, I hope I didn't upset you. But remember, my job sometimes is to upset you. Really is. My prayer is that you hear me. That's my real prayer. Aw, I love that. I love that. You know, I used to do that, but I don't know if it's weird. I used to do that when I passed cemeteries because I know that there are lost souls in the cemeteries. So I would be on a bus, and I love cemeteries, by the way. And by the way, I was told to go to a cemetery and leave an offering. I keep forgetting why I'm supposed to go to it. It doesn't really matter. And then on a bus, I would just, because I know the lost souls, a lot of lost souls in cemeteries. Or incense, yes, yes, frankincense and myrrh, oil, incense. Get that stuff. That's the gift that was given to Jesus. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're so welcome. I know. Ezra is so handsome and intelligent. I know. His black ass was like, Dory, you did not pray. And I was like, oh, you're right. Meanwhile, I'm like, damn, I'm late. I just asked him to protect me and those I love. Yes. Yep, God is my confidence. I go to Mother, Father, God. Whoa, that's good. Thank you, Life. See, Jewel, you asked a question that helped 75 plus people. See? So, Jewel, I don't know if you were being snarky. I feel like you were. And when you get snarky, I get mad. I turn. But I want you to understand that your question was a really good question because it really, really helped others. So I hope you can see how your question has made a change in other people's lives. So good job. Oh, they sell it right on Amazon. Just get it from Amazon. All that stuff can be sold on Amazon now. Let me see. Um, when I do my candles, sometimes they sell frankincense and myrrh together. So you might want to look for that. When I do my candles, I put, you guys don't know this, I never told you guys what I do with the candles. When it's still hot, I put frankincense and myrrh and patchouli in the candle because I don't do anything without God. But can be a little expensive, but just get a little bottle. A little $8 bottle for anointing. That's frankincense. Let me see if I can find frankincense and myrrh together. Frankincense and myrrh oil. 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 Oh, look at this, guys. There's a frankincense and myrrh foot pain relief lotion. See, it's very powerful. Okay, here's something for $6. Frankincense and myrrh for $6. Oh yeah, Amazon has a ton of oils. A ton. Very easy. Very, very easy. Hmm. Neuropathy rubbing oil, foot pain, frankincense and myrrh. I did not know that. Look at that. And this right here, this might be, let me see. This might, oh, come on, work with me. This might be something that comes straight from Israel. This brand, it's only $9. This might come straight from Israel. When I was in Israel, I brought back all of these oils and put them in my oils and chow. Yes, indeed. I have frankincense and myrrh oil that I used to make my soap. Exactly, Wanda. Oh, that's nice. I never thought to use it for anything else. I think the fact that you're using it for soap is the best thing. Mm, the sun. Sun hates me. So, no snarky behaviors. I don't like it. And if it means I lose someone, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. You'll come back. Once you realize I mean no harm, you'll be back. Look at my scales, everyone. Skulls, 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 skulls. Really bad at the English language. Born and raised in America. Look at my skulls. This one was my very first skull. It took me years to be attracted to skull energy. Years. This one, look at this. Actually looks like a shoe. Look at this. Look at the front. And look, his head is cracked open. I love it. And this one I showed in dashikis and bonnets. How freaking pretty is this? How pretty is this? And then you could see right through it. I love this one. So, I fell in love with skulls after Coco. Has anybody seen that movie, Coco? The Mexican culture has this thing with Day to Dead, Dia de la Muerte. Probably pronounced it wrong, guys. I'm so sorry, Mexico. And they celebrate their ancestors. It's a way to celebrate your ancestors. If you think of it via the Mexican culture, right? But my assistant has been holding on to boxes, and then his wife was like, "Get rid of these boxes," and I was like, "Dude," and he texts me. He's like, "My wife wants me to get rid of the boxes," and I'm like, "I've been trying to tell you to give me the boxes. Now I look bad to your wife. This isn't fair." But I don't say that. I'm like, "All right, send the boxes." So this was in the boxes, and if I separated them, it's because there was love here, right? And so I found this. I always had these here, and this one just came. So I'm thinking about doing some skull magic. Skull magic. I think I need to consult with someone that I know who might be able to tell me better what to do. Maybe I'll consult with her for a fee. So I can do skull magic as rebirth. I can do skull magic for medical, right? Because they use the skeletons in schools and stuff like that to teach, right? I could use skull magic for change, right? Start over from the bare bones. Have you ever started over from the bare bones, but not willingly? I have. Fell flat on your ass, and you're like, what happened, God? Um, your favorite? What happened? Why am I on my ass? Thought you liked me. Good health, Sonia. Yeah, but wrapped very well. No, I put them in boxes myself, and I wrapped it so well. I did have something that didn't make it. I have no idea what it is. It came shattered to smithereens. I have no idea what it was. But I like this skull, so we're going to do some skull energy. All right. What's 3 times, Angel? Oh, 3 times. You guys watch Coco? Don't you just love Coco? Don't you just love Coco? I love Coco. Yes, love Coco. All right. I do want to tell you guys that that nurse that killed several people in Los Angeles running the red light, it turns out she may have lost consciousness. She may have suffered mental collapse. before the crash. She does carry bipolar disorder. The nurse, let me see, the revelations came in a comprehensive filing by her attorneys that offered the most detailed narrative of the events leading up to the horrific crash that killed 5 people and an unborn child. The nurse, the nurse had a 4-year struggle with bipolar disorder and included a determination by doctors in the immediate aftermath of the deadly incident that Linton suffered an apparent lack of consciousness at the time of the crash. She may have blacked out, people. They said in this filing that Linton was suffering from deteriorating mental health issues before the crash. She has no recollection of the event that led to the crash, which means she blacked out. The next thing she recalled was lying on the pavement and seeing that her car was on fire. Linton has bipolar disorder and suffered an apparent lapse of consciousness. Linton's family became aware of her mental health issues in May of 2018 when she was a nursing student at the University of Texas in Houston. Her sister said in a letter to the court that Nicole studies to be a nurse at anesthetist caused her first mental health breakdown. What? I see. She was studying to be an anesthetist. The stress was too much for her and it broke her. Wow. This was the beginning of Nicole's 4-year struggle with mental illness. She ran out of her apartment in May of 2018 during a panic attack when police approached her. She jumped on a police car and was arrested for disorderly conduct, but she was having a mental breakdown. Linton called her family from the police station and was concerned about her well-being of her pet turtle. That's how, I don't know. A few days after that arrest, Linton told family that she believed she was possessed by her passed on grandmother. So that's not just bipolar disorder. That's a little schizophrenia. The next day at Ben Taub Psychiatric Hospital, so she was put on a psych ward, Linton required stitches on her forehead after she banged her head into a glass partition while ranting about the police and the Supreme Court. It was at Ben Taub Hospital that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and prescribed psychiatric medication. More than a year later, Linton was involuntarily committed to a psychiatric ward after a neighbor called her family after seeing Linton running around her apartment complex naked. Linton's mental health deteriorated further after she stopped taking her psychiatric medication during the pandemic. Oh. Her lawyer said an online therapist told her she merely suffered from anxiety. Wow, therapist. Wow. If you have a patient therapist that is on psychiatric medication, you cannot diagnose her with anxiety. This therapist can be sued now. Linton began acting strangely. This is so common for mental illness, though. Not sleeping, becoming obsessive about cleaning, so now she has obsessive compulsive issues. She ranted about family members and accused them of stealing from her. Oh my God. In the days and hours leading up to the events of August 4th, Nicole's behavior became increasingly frightening. Linton was in contact with her sister Camille and kept telling her that her co-workers at the West Los Angeles Medical Center was acting weird. They weren't acting weird, sweetie. They were afraid of you. The day of the crash, Linton drove home from the hospital for lunch and FaceTimed her sister. Did we miss something? Because it says the day of the crash, Linton drove home from the hospital for lunch and FaceTimed her sister completely naked. Did we miss something in the reports that they didn't tell us that she was completely naked? Right then and there, if somebody would have said that, she wouldn't have gotten the backlash that she did. She was naked at the crash site? Please, somebody explain to me how somebody left that out. She went back to work and called her sister again at 1:24. Oh, I see. Saying she was leaving work again just minutes before the crash. She told her sister she was flying out to meet her in Houston the next day so she could do her niece's hair. She also said that she would be getting married and that her sister should meet her at the altar. While the extent of Linton's injuries from the crash were not included in the report, Winter mentioned fractures, and Linton's lawyer said that the traveling nurse is using a wheelchair to move around jail. The medical records are an objective, unbiased account of what happened here. Linton's lawyers argued that mental health issues and Linton's apparent bizarre actions are no reason to keep her locked up. No. She should stay locked up. Maybe she don't need to be in a jail, but she needs to be on a psych ward. Oh, he says Linton should be released for testing at UCLA Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Oh, I agree with that. They said she would wear an ankle monitor or submit to any other conditions imposed by the court. No, she needs to be locked up in a hospital. She is out of control. They've got to get her meds back on. Mrs. Linton would be most appropriately housed in a mental health treatment facility where she can be monitored and treated for her illness. That I agree with. Otherwise, Linton should be released on no more than $300,000 bail, adding that that was all Linton could afford. The safety and the well-being of the residents of Los Angeles are our primary concern, says the District Attorney Gaston in a statement to the times. Under my policy, preventative detention can be requested under a case-specific analysis to protect public safety. That I agree with, as the district attorney. And to reasonably ensure the defendant's return to court. Absolutely. You know, the reason why I'm reading that and what went down with her is, one, mental illness can happen to any one of us. Having a break in your psyche is actually very normal. The funny thing is, most of us survive it. Most of us wind up being depressed, which means we kind of go down, right? But she was diagnosed with bipolar, which is up and down, right? I can't imagine how bad medical school was for her. It must have been horrifically bad. I also can't imagine being diagnosed and taking your meds the whole time, and then the pandemic hit and everything got shut down. And that changed on how she could communicate with doctors. And then got an online therapist that told her she was suffering from anxiety. And that from the pandemic, she might have gotten lost in the system and then became a traveling nurse, mortified. All the conditions that led up to that crash, I'm wondering, could any of this have been prevented? Could any, have you ever had a family that had a mental disorder? Have you ever tried to stop them? Nothing works. You can't stop them. What are you supposed to do? Call their employer and be like, she's crazy. So that means she's out of work. And that means she's leeching off of your mother or you. I mean, it sounds like errors along the way. So many moving parts that led to that day. Going back to 2018. This was a tragedy waiting to happen, but I'm also curious as to who could have stopped this. Because it sounds like no one, was there anything in place that could have stopped any of this? Even if she did call her sister naked? FaceTime? This woman is driving naked? What was she supposed to do? Hey, cops, my sister's in Los Angeles somewhere, and she's driving a rental car that her job gave her, and she's a nurse, and she's running around naked, and she has bipolar. How is that supposed to work? What part of Los Angeles was she supposed to call? I mean, so many things went wrong. This is like the movie Final Destination. Was everybody on that corner that died was meant to die? Does that sound crazy? Because this sounds like Final Destination. I get it, Prairie. Of course. My cousin had mental breakdown while studying at NYU. She had to quit, but later on finished when she was mentally well. I get it. I don't know, Angel. I don't know. We're talking about things past tense now, so who knows? Yes. What's also tragic is some of the drugs help and some hurt. Also, if you stop taking them, it could be horrific. Let me tell you something. Remember, her problem really occurred when the pandemic hit. Remember that. It took the medical community a while to fix themselves, which means everyone had to invest in online telehealth. Everyone. I mean, think about it. You couldn't even go to the drugstore because they were closed. Initially, remember, initially everything closed. And then they slowly had to figure out, all right, the grocery stores need to stay open. The pharmacies need to stay open, right? But initially it was like shut down. Let me tell you something. The horrible side effects against a mental breakdown that kills 6 people. What do we weigh? How do we weigh this? How do we keep talking about the horrible side effects when not taking something could kill 6 people? What do? You not kill 6 people and you take your meds. However, she is a different story. The pandemic might have helped create this issue. She was a casualty of the pandemic, right? That's a good point, Celista. Normal nurses' mentalities were broke during the pandemic. Can't imagine what happened with an already fragile mind. Mm. Mm. I don't, but you know what? I'm not sure if the system failed her. That's why I'm like, who do we blame? The pandemic was the pandemic. You know, you can't, I promise you, you can't tell a family member what to do. I promise you, it's one of the, anybody has a family member that has mental illness? My sister takes psychotropic meds, right? And they will call me and they will go, Tony's not taking her meds. And I go, okay, put her on the phone. And I go, hey, babe. Hi, sis. Hi. I need you to take your meds for me. Oh, for you, sis? Mm-hmm. For me. Okay. But you know, I don't want to take the meds. I know, sweetie. But you know, you act better when you take the meds, right? You're so happy when you take your meds. I am happy, sis. Then go ahead. Take your meds. And let's stay happy. Oh, child. It is hard convincing a family member to take her meds. Hard. Because when they shut that shit down, especially in California, where they give the mental illness people rights, Tony has a right to say, no, I'm not taking my meds. And it's like, take your meds. You're going to drive us crazy. No, I'm not taking my meds. And she knows her rights. In other states, I don't know how it goes. In California, the mental illness has rights. And they can say, no. And maybe that's why she was in Los Angeles, because you have rights. Tony don't take her meds. We got a different Tony. They're like, honey, yes, sis. Take your meds, please. But I don't want to, sis. I don't want to. And I'd be like, okay, you know what's funny about that? I was coming to visit you. But now, since you're not taking your meds, I'm not coming to visit you because you ain't acting crazy on me. I'm going to take my meds. Give my meds. Give my meds. My sister coming. I don't even show up. I just tricked her. Girl. And tomorrow, no problem. She'll take her meds easy. She just gets into that one-day space. And everybody's like, Tony, take your meds. Tony, take... No, I'm not taking my meds like the exorcist. And they were like, get Tracey on the phone. A lot of mentally ill are homeless or in jail. Absolutely. That's the other thing. That's the other curious part that I think might wind up under review, particularly for travel nurses. Where's the background check? Where's the background check for traveling nurses? Now, that is a system that might have failed those 6 people. Where is the background check for traveling nurses? This woman had a whole record. She had a timeline of issues. Where's the background check? And that needs to include mental health issues. So that's a system that might need an overhaul. I need some mandatory mental health checks. If you've been in a mental health facility, no, you cannot be a nurse. Imagine if her breakdown was with the patients. What if she decided, and this is hypothetically, right? But what if she decided everybody on her floor needed to die? And she was a nurse having access to meds. What if she took some liquid meds and went down the line on the unit, just killing everybody with fentanyl or morphine? They usually have morphine in the hospital. Think about it, everyone. Who failed her? Now, that's a good one. The medical authorities failed her. I can't believe they didn't do a background check. Oh, she was in California because the pain rate is, I get a lot of educated nurses here, because the pain rate is higher. During the pandemic, traveling nurses made a lot of money. And Mike goes, Tracey, so much trickery you had to do with Tony, but it worked. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Treat her with kindness, treat her with love. I can get Tony to do anything. She was my partner in crime. I love Tony. All right, guys, you know the routine. I was going to read Do My Job, but you guys know I don't do my job well anyway, so why should I do my job? I'll just go over it just a little bit. I got about a minute. 5 things you need to know for August 31st. I am your CNN YouTube correspondent. It is official. CNN never asked me to do this job, so it's unofficially. Mar-a-Lago. He needs to go to jail. Are we done? Are we good? Oh. Because I want to make sure you're good when I talk about Mar-a-Lago. He needs to be indicted. All right. I'm over it. Flooding. Here's what we got with flooding in Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi is made up of 80% Black residents. They never had proper running water before this problem. They were given money by Biden to rebuild their water system and never spent the money on their water. Okay, are you done? Are we clear? Where did the money go, Governor? All right, I'm over it. Heat waves. I'm still not sending out my candles because you also got heat waves over there. And I live near the equator. You all are hotter than I am. All right, we're not talking about the heat wave. Over it. Now, San Diego, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Labor Day is about to be 110 degrees next Monday. Stay home. I'm over it. Artemis. Now, I didn't make it predicted it, but I told y'all that spaceship wasn't going to take off. It never made it to the moon in the first place. How the hell is this one? It didn't take off because they had a crack. Mother effer. What kind of NASA equipment has a crack in it and you're going to send that up to space? I don't even have time for this. They're repairing the crack to do it Friday. Are you good? Does it sound crazy to you? All right. Look, they'll make another attempt. You don't make attempts when it comes to NASA and going to the moon. There's something wrong. You never made it to the moon, that's why. I don't know what the fuck they doing, but when they start talking about, oh, we're going to the moon, trust and believe. It's a trick. Smoke and mirrors. Something else is happening on Earth. And they're telling you, look at the moon. Look at the moon. Meanwhile, shit is going on down here. All right, just teaching you. There's a lot to learn. Gun laws. New York City's famed Times Square tourist area. I didn't know this was necessary. Will be designated a gun-free zone beginning Thursday as a new state law limiting where firearms can be legally carried in public is set to go in effect. I didn't know people were carrying guns. And okay, I'm learning. Okay. All right. I'm over it. I'm over it. Distractions. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I remember that, Wanda. I was at work. I think I was working at Chase Bank at the time. And it was shocking. Yeah. Okay. It's shocking. Yeah. I mean, mortifyingly shocking. It was, for me, it was my version of 9/11. When I saw that, I was like, can anybody be alive after that? Because all you saw was smoke, this swirling smoke. You didn't see any pieces of the aircraft. It was shocking. All right. I'm over it. You know the routine. I got to go to the gym. I love you. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. Oh, if you want to subscribe. Oh, please subscribe. Subscribe. Psychic readings. 94 people here. Press the like button. 96 people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will talk tomorrow. All right. I hope you liked my job as a correspondent. I'm over it. Bye, everyone.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown.